Welcome to Boulder City City Council this evening. Call the meeting to order, recognizing that there are items on the agenda that may be taken out of order. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed or related discussion may be delayed at any time. So having called the meeting to order, confirmation of roll call and posting, Madam City Clerk.
Thank you. The agenda was posted in accordance with Nevada open meeting law, and we have members Steve Walton, Sherry Jorgensen, and Koki Booth, who are on phone call with us, and present in the chambers is Council Member Fox and our Mayor Hardy.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. With that, we will rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If all would rise. Pastor Ed Bruning is not here, but we would welcome him if he were. So our city manager has volunteered to offer the invocation.
Dear Lord, let us pray. Please watch over your elected officials, residents, business owners, and city staff as the council makes decisions this evening, and watch over Boulder City. In his name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Clerk, are there any announcements?
Yes, I'll begin with my announcement. At the previous council meeting on March 26, 2024, there were questions asked of Dr. Jakolski from Clark County School District, who has provided an update, and it's regarding Clark County School assignment enrollment to Boulder City. And I'm going to attach a copy of this to the March 26, 2024 meeting in case any of the public is interested in taking a look at it.
Thank you very much. Recognizing that we have a city clerk and a city manager, city attorney all sitting here present, our city manager, as some may be aware, is going to greener pastures. I'm not sure greener would be a great word because we are still clean green, Boulder City, but we appreciate your service, Mr. City Manager. And he will be leaving as of May 8th. We appreciate your service. Any other announcements, Madam City Clerk?
No other announcements.
Thank you. We will now open the City Council for public comment. Those who want to call in will call 589-9629. Those who have been written, the City Clerk will read, and all those who are here who would like to say anything on public comment that is pertaining to the items on the agenda, we'll do that right now, and you can speak up to 5 minutes on any specific agenda item. Please identify yourself and take your 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Hardy and members of the City Council for the opportunity to address items on the agenda today. My name is Kieran McManus. I begin with item number 8 for animal breeding and increasing the number of pets in a home. As I had offered public comment for about at the first March council meeting, the number of animals already filling shelters in Clark County cannot be managed due to the overwhelming number of unwanted, abused, and neglected animals. Accelerating this problem by providing an unlimited number of breeder license to Boulder City residents is simply compounding the cruelty this council is willing to inflict on animals in response to some number of people that look to cash in at the expense of animals. Councilmember Walton's desire to allow for any type of animal rather than only recognize purebred animals pushes this past absurd and into the realm of inhumanity. Also, someone he knows can make some fast cash. But the burden of these animals falls first on the animal itself and then onto the taxpayers. Not to mention law enforcement that must deal with the outcome when the easy money is found not to be so easy. Clark County found an answer to this problem of the state making certain requirements. You can breed purebred animals, but you can't sell them. In fact, the county has prohibited the sale of animals, as has other cities in southern Nevada. There is already a surplus of animals for people to find a loving pet. Boulder City has already had an overabundance of horrors with the mistreatment and cruelty of animals. A new level of abuse is not needed at this time. With regard to item number 10, the use of off-highway vehicles, it is surprising to see Councilmember Fox do something or anything during his time on council. But this is the wrong thing, and residents have spoken to this issue by means of a ballot question in 2019. Well over half of the residents said no to the use of these vehicles on city streets. If Councilmember Fox believes there has been a change in the desires of the community to allow these vehicles, he could have spoken up over the past few months to request another ballot question this year. But he was silent as usual. He then tries to push through the already rejected use of these types of vehicles because it would be good for his business, as he's previously stated. No should mean no until it may be found that the citizens have changed their opinions. Lastly, I want to address item number 4 regarding airport leases. It is clear that renters at the airport have set themselves apart as those deserving special treatment through fire sale rates on hangars. Councilmember Jorgensen has recused and participated in decisions directly benefiting her family's use of a hangar included in these type of leases. It should not be something difficult to understand that this is wrong. It is wrong to allow valuable city property to have value taken away and leave the taxpayers with yet another potential burden. It is unfortunate that this council appears to be very much less an assembly of public servants and is coming to be little more than self-service. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here wishing to testify?
And Mayor, just to let you know, I do have somebody on the phone as well.
Oh, okay.
Hello, my name is Bryn Delormier, and I'm here to address item number 8 on the agenda. The Boulder City Animal Shelter is currently at 100% capacity due to an animal abandonment epidemic. They are also currently a no-kill shelter, a fact that we all here love to boast. And I'm asking that we please help them. They need your full support to continue providing the exceptional level of service they are well known for. So I am requesting the City Council approve the following. 1, a total ban on dog breeding here in Boulder City, or that a clause be written into the breeders' ordinance that animal control may enact a moratorium on issuing new breeders' permits or on animal breeding whenever necessary, or direction from Ann on what is best for Boulder City given the BC Animal Shelter's lack of capacity at this time. 2, that the animal shelter be 100% funded by the City of Boulder City going forward. 3, that a contingency plan to expand the BC Animal Shelter's capacity and staffing to be directed by Ann in the event that animal control and the police department continue to see dogs abandoned here in Boulder City from presumably over the hill at an increasing rate. 4, that microchipping be required of all BC pets by the means Ann has already proposed in the City Council meeting on March 26, 2024. And 5, that this was not on the agenda, pardon me, but that the city act responsibly and approve a leash law like the one Ann has proposed over 26 months ago, with plenty of data and statistics to back up her rationale. So one person quipped that in the last meeting they don't have a dog in this fight, and I don't believe that's true. Everybody ran for positions to represent us and to support our city employees so they can do the best job that they are able to do. And I don't believe that happened in the last city council meeting on this topic. Nobody here would want to be bitten by an off-leash dog. You would not want your home to be the drop-off point for all these abandoned animals from over the hill. And you wouldn't want to work a day in animal control's shoes if you've heard what Anna's had to say on the topic and what that's like, working a day in her shoes. So our animal control division, they're clearly the subject matter experts here. And I'm asking that their requests be not swept under the rug and that their judgment not be questioned on every last detail, and that we please give them the means they need to continue to be an exemplary shelter model for this entire county. And your constituents are proud to call Boulder City a town of animal lovers, and we expect our leaders to reflect that. So thank you for hearing my comments.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Madam City Clerk, the person on the phone.
Public comment?
Yes, good evening, Council. For the record, Fred Volz, speaking to item 8. We have an ongoing epidemic of unwanted domestic animals in southern Nevada and across the country. Animal breeding makes a bad situation worse. Shelters and rescue groups cannot keep up. There is no such condition as responsible breeding, suggested in the city's business impact statement. The city attorney accurately cites state statute that breeding be allowed for dogs and cats. However, this city is entitled to recover the cost of providing services associated with issuing a breeding permit, which Councilman Walton and city staff failed to fully tally on March 26th. The revised title could limit licensed breeders to one animal only. It allows 3. The breeder's license fee per animal per year should be pegged at $2,500 minimum versus the suggested $500. Costs necessarily include impacts to the public treasury from breeders and their reckless activities creating more unwanted animals. Nothing proposed reduces animal suffering, neighborhoods with concentrations of breeders, and inadequate animal care. Do you know what happens to bred animals that are not perfect or that no one wants to buy? Do you think profit-focused breeders care for them in perpetuity? No. They are dumped or destroyed like yesterday's trash. Is that what our community would do with unwanted children? Do you think that the bare-bones funding you provide to the city's animal shelter, not even including food or cleaning supplies, allows the skeletal staff to regularly inspect breeder facilities and ensure animals are bred only after age 2 and once every 2 years? License plates are required on all vehicles operated on public highways for safety. Yet the revised ordinance does not require breeders to spay and neuter the animals they sell, nor does it require all pets in the city to be microchipped so they can be returned to their owners or receive quick emergency medical treatment. How do these omissions make any logical sense when rescue organizations and shelters must spay and neuter their adopted out animals? Instead, these exclusions encourage covert backyard breeders and new litters of unwanted and often sickly puppies and kittens. Despite promises made by Councilwoman Jorgensen to a group of citizens years ago concerning remedies for the lack of an enforceable dog leash ordinance, nothing has been done, even though the second dog park's opening was cited as a condition precedent. In case you have forgotten, all other municipalities in Clark County and many across the U.S. have long ago enacted these laws for dogs in public spaces. What makes you think Boulder City is exempt? Problems have been thoroughly documented to this council on multiple occasions by city staff, yet you continue to ignore a dangerous situation which has led to serious injuries and the death of innocent dogs in our parks and on our streets. Proposed Title 7-3-6B changes nothing. Does a person have to die from an off-leash dog attack and the city's taxpayers sued before this issue is addressed? The city will have a weak legal defense, and Pool Pact will not pay the attorney's fees or wrongful death damages when it is easily proven the city knew it had problems and regularly ignored them. Agenda item number 8 needs considerable modification before it serves the needs of Boulder City's animal and human populations and should be continued beyond tonight. Thank you, and I would ask that these comments be added to the record verbatim.
Thank you. As they will be. Go ahead, sir.
I'm Ainsworth Hunt. I'm here to speak on item 10, which I find antithetical to what happened with regards to a public referendum where the same issue was voted down just a few years ago. I couldn't believe that the idea of having off-road vehicles in a place which is a naturally occurring asbestos environment should be even considered again. The inability of the human body to expel asbestos from the lungs is a fact that cannot be changed. And to have off-road vehicles in town driving around after they've been out in the desert will do nothing but increase the level of dust that's in the air. This is something that our lives and health depend upon not having. We need to have our roads for on-road vehicles, not for off-road vehicles. I've made further comments through the city clerk by email, and so I will refrain from saying anything about item number 8, but that will get read later. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, any other written comments?
Yes, I have a comment that was submitted by Laura Pfizer. Open letter to City Council. This letter is in opposition to the proposed changes to Title VII, Police Regulations, Chapter 3, Animal Control. Amending Title VII, Chapter 3 to create a breeder's permit is an extremely bad idea. The situation with overpopulation of canines and felines in Clark County is well known. All of the shelters in Clark County are overpopulated and underfunded. If you must pass a breeder's license, ensure that the license fee is a minimum of $100,000 to cover the cost of anticipated future strain that additional animals will put on Boulder City Animal Control and Shelter. In addition to that, breeders should be required to carry $1 million liability insurance, naming Boulder City as the insured beneficiary of the policy. Resolution number 7777 should be rejected in its entirety pursuant to the above statement. Instead of resolution number 7778, City Council should act responsibly and enact a leash law. A dog off leash is under no control. This creates public health and safety problems. The next public comment was submitted by Mary Alice West regarding agenda item number 3. Dear Mayor and City Council members, I am writing in regard to City Council meeting agenda item 3 to be heard tonight. There is to be a presentation by a landscape company for reducing turf at the Boulder City Municipal Golf Course. For full disclosure, I live on the 15th green of Muni. I am completely behind reducing our water consumption. I realize we live in a desert and we have had severe drought conditions. We have personally removed all of the grass at our home. That being said, I am very concerned about the manner in which we are trying to reduce the water consumption for the golf course. And the large amount of grass shown is removed. Who will maintain the non-turf areas? I have a desert area behind my house that used to be golf course grass, and we spend a lot of time getting rid of the weeds and the growth of the things that blow in it. A desert landscape takes more work and time than grass. Will all the non-turf areas end up looking like the eyesore areas along Bristlecone, Veterans Memorial Drive, and Adams, where building never took place and large empty lot areas are filled with debris, overgrown weeds, and other foliage that was not planted there? I am also an avid golfer. That does not mean I am any good at it, I just like it. Looking at some of the changes that may take place, I think some homeowners are going to get a lot more balls in their yard, and I think there are some spots that golfers will have to be extremely vigilant not to get hit. with errant balls from other fairways. Our trees and grass have caused less than excellent golfers to keep to their own fairways more or less. Removing grass and trees in a few locations is making me think I should buy a cute motorcycle helmet to wear while golfing to protect my head. I realize that water is precious, but so is our beautiful community that needs a little bit of grass and a whole lot of TLC for our desert areas not to become a blighted mess. I want our town to still be clean, sort of green, Boulder City. And that's all I have at this time, other than I have 17 minutes worth of pre-recorded public comments that came in today.
Anyone else would like to,
I pre-recorded, I had 17 minutes worth to read, so I pre-recorded them. You're
anyone else here would like to come forward in public comment? Please, sir. Identify yourself if you may.
Hi, my name's Lonnie Munson, and I'm here to talk about the breeding.
If you could speak in the microphone.
Sorry, I'm here to talk about the breeding issue. I personally have been negatively impacted by this. A neighbor of mine with rogue breeding just decided 3 dogs wasn't enough and started breeding dogs. Called the authorities on this. They responded. They were told to get the hell off the property and a few other choice words. And these people are just uncooperative. Not to mention the fact that when they do have their full complement of dogs, because they have thinned it out since, there's nobody home during the day or the evening because they own a business, and so the dogs have a tendency to be unruly and loud all day long. I live in the Del Prado area. People from the Del Prado area know that a lot of the backyards are very small, and it's not conducive to having large numbers of animals. I hope that the city council sees their way clear to not allow dog breeding in this town. I look at the 4-way test. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and I see, is it fair to all concerned? No, I don't think so. Will it build goodwill and friendships? I don't think so. Is it beneficial to everybody concerned? I don't think so. That's 3 out of 4 negatives there off your test, so I hope you take that into consideration. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Anyone else here would like to come before we have 17 minutes of pre-recorded public comment that have been sent in? If not, Madam City Clerk, if you want to go ahead and play that.
Does Holly know? Okay. I have a few written public comments that say the identical statement, and so I'll read the names who provided the comments. Julia Werner, Ainsworth Hunt, Devin Tillman, and Anita Santangelo. And their comment is, open letter to City Council. This letter is in opposition to the proposed changes to Title VII Police Regulations, Chapter 3, Animal Control. Amending Title VII, Chapter 3 to create a breeder's permit is an extremely bad idea. The situation within overpopulation of canines and felines in Clark County is well known. All of the shelters in Clark County are overpopulated and underfunded. If you must pass a breeder's license, ensure that the license fee is a minimum of $100,000 to cover the costs of anticipated future strain that additional animals will put on Boulder City Animal Control and Shelter. In addition to that, breeders should be required to carry $1 million liability insurance, naming Boulder City as the insured beneficiary of the policy. Resolution number 7777 should be rejected in its entirety pursuant to the above statement. Instead of resolution number 7778, City Council should act responsibly and enact a leash law. A dog off leash is under no control. This creates public health and safety concerns. The next comment was submitted by Matt DeTeresa. I'm writing tonight in opposition to the creation of a breeder's permit in Boulder City. Animal shelters across the country are currently overflowing with stray and abandoned dogs, and Boulder City is considering creating a permit to breed animals for profit. How does this make any sense? Vote no on agenda number 8. Next comment was submitted by Eric Estes. This is regarding agenda item number 3. Dear Mayor, council members, and city staff, my name is Eric Estes, and I would like to comment on agenda item number 3. Our residence is within the Boulder City Golf Course community adjacent to the 7th Green, and my wife and I are regular golfers at both Boulder City golf courses. Upon reviewing the turf removal option as provided by a large design, I would like for the City Council to consider a less aggressive approach to the removal of grass. I feel the amount of proposed turf to be removed will have a significant negative impact on the playability of the course. The course as designed is forgiving for golfers of all skill levels, and the introduction of a significant amount of chat will be detrimental to golfers and their equipment alike. Additionally, the maintenance required for chat landscaping is more labor-intensive, and existing desert areas within the golf course are already in poor condition and not consistent with the rest of the course. While I fully agree that water conservation is important and that we should all be doing our part, I feel there should be a more balanced approach incorporating new irrigation equipment in conjunction with a more conservative turf reduction program, thus providing the desired results without the more detrimental impact of the game and to the aesthetics of the course. Please consider a less aggressive approach to turf removal with an investment in more efficient irrigation equipment for the benefit of golfers, residents, homeowners, and golf maintenance crews. Thank you in advance for your consideration of our concerns and for your time in serving our community. The next comment was submitted by Vicki Moses. Amending Title VII, Chapter 3 to create a breeder's permit is an extremely bad idea. The situation with overpopulation of canines, felines, etc. in Clark County is well known. All of the shelters in Clark County are overpopulated and underfunded. This includes our Boulder City Animal Shelter. Fortunately, there are many people who donate food, supplies, etc. to our shelter, but I feel even that is not enough. As I understand it, there is currently a limit of 3 animals per household. This number should be re-evaluated. At one point in my previous location, we had 4 indoor cats and 1 dog. At no point were any of our animals mistreated. They were all strayed, rescued animals that became beloved pets in our home. Taking them in meant less animals in the local shelter. Number 3, leash law. I feel it is ridiculous to have a leash law in Boulder City. I am so tired of hearing from people who say their dogs are under voice control. I will not say that it can't happen, just that it is rarely true. Several days ago, while driving downhill, there was a woman walking her unleashed, approximately 65-pound dog on the street. She was reading something on her phone and completely unaware that the dog was walking toward the middle of the road. I saw the dog and slowed down even more. I ended up having to go into the far right side of the street and stop to avoid hitting the dog. She finally called out to the dog, who completely ignored her at first. It then started walking toward her, at which time I went around them. I wanted to say something to her, but unfortunately, the way people react nowadays, I just kept driving. This is just one of many occasions I have seen this happen. All dogs should be required to be on leashes at all times when out in public, other than while in a secured dog park. 4, microchipping. I feel all animals should be microchipped. Mandating this might be difficult. However, any animal taken in by animal control should not be released without having been microchipped. The problem can be when people do not update the information on their pet's microchip. Bottom line, I feel Ann Inabnet and her officers do an amazing job with our animal shelter. I cannot say enough good things about Ann. She is amazing, and we are so fortunate to have her in our city. I also feel it is irresponsible for people to ignore her suggestions regarding animal control. The next comment was submitted by Dale Klabacha. I do not support licensing individuals to breed mixed breed dogs. Shelters are full of mixed breed and purebred dogs. Animals are being abandoned and treated as garbage to be thrown away when it becomes inconvenient. Allowing the licensing of individuals to breed mixed breed animals is irresponsible and very well could result in more overcrowding of animal shelters. What happens to the mixed breed animal no one wants to buy, or the mixed breed animal that is the runt of the litter? or has some physical handicap. It is not abandoned in the desert or thrown out of a car onto the highway. It will end up in the shelter. Please do not pass this ordinance for the sake of the abandoned, unwanted animals already on this planet. The next comment was submitted by Tabitha Dunmeyer. Council members, we are all proud to be a community of animal lovers who can currently boast having a no-kill animal shelter. The work Anna Nabnett and her staff do to care for the lost and abandoned is amazing, and I am saddened and shocked by the number of pets who have become recently abandoned in Boulder City and are sure this will be an increasing trend. This should be treated as an epidemic given other Clark County shelters are full and not taking in animals. At this time, our shelter needs our community and City Council's full support to continue providing the exceptional level of service. It's so well known. I'm kindly asking the City Council to approve the following: a temporary moratorium on breeders' permits, or direction from Anna Nabnett on what type and number of permits are feasible given the lack of capacity in our current shelter. The Boulder City shelter to be 100% funded by the city going forward. Microchipping to be required of all pets by the means Ann already proposed at the council meeting on March 26, 2024. A contingency plan to expand the Boulder City Animal Shelter capacity and staffing to be directed by Ann and Abnett in the event that animal control and the police department continue to find dogs abandoned in Boulder City at an increasing rate. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. Next comment was provided by Lynn Wilson. Good morning. I hope this email finds you well. I am writing in regards to item number 8 on the agenda. I support the increased fees as the cost of supplies, including utilities, have increased. The development and clarity of the breeder's license is also needed. Las Vegas proper requires a city business license and tax number for breeders. North Las Vegas does not allow breeding, and the county requires a permit. The uneven laws within the county allow for loopholes and people moving to avoid inspections. With the number of guinea pigs just seized, you may want to add restrictions or guidance for small mammals. Please consider and adopt the development of the breeder's ordinance to strengthen and protect animals across the country. The next comment was submitted by Lisa Caravel regarding number 8. In total support of the Boulder City Animal Shelter being 100% funded and expanded with additional help. The influx and work that the staff does is amazing, and since Boulder City has become the dump site for unwanted animals on a weekly basis, City Council and whomever it's going to take to support the Boulder City shelter needs to be addressed ASAP. It's heartbreaking that these animals are being dumped, and the workload, I'm sure, is overwhelming. Also, a reach out for the community to continue to support, adopt if you can, and donate at all possible to assist the Boulder City shelter. Also, please note that the consideration for volunteers for the Boulder City Animal Shelter would be a big asset. I put in an application only to have it ignored. I'm sure there are plenty of residents who would like to help, maybe consider having families foster animals in the event that Boulder City Animal Shelter is unable to shelter animals that are continually being dumped. Next comment was submitted by Jim Sheldon. Honorable Mayor and City Council, we are all proud of having a no-kill animal shelter in the great city of Boulder City. The work control supervisor, Anna Nabnett, and her staff do to care for our lost or abandoned pets is commendable. I am horrified and heartbroken at the number of pets that have been abandoned in Boulder City. Unfortunately, the trend is growing. This is a crisis as other Clark County shelters are full and not accepting more animals. At this point in time, our shelter needs the full support of the City Council to continue providing the exceptional level of service for which it is known. I encourage City Council to approve the following: a moratorium on breeders' permits or direction from Anna Nabnett on what number and type of permits are feasible at this time. The Boulder City shelter to be 100% funded by the City of Boulder City going forward. Microchipping to be required of all pets by the means Anna Nabnett has already proposed to City Council on March 26, 2024. And a contingency plan to expand the Boulder City Animal Shelter's capacity and staffing to be directed by Anna Nabnett in the event animal control and the police department continue to find dogs abandoned in Boulder City at an increasing rate. Thank you for your consideration. The next public comment was submitted by Valerie Reichman. I am absolutely opposed to allowing more than 3 dogs per household, and I oppose breeders' permits. Anna Nabnett's opinions are of utmost importance and should be given the priority and respect they deserve. The animal shelter needs to be fully funded and supported by the mayor and our City Council. If that's not going to happen, then shut it down. Next comment was submitted by Michael Delormier. Hi, for Tuesday's meeting, I support the Boulder City Animal Shelter and hope that they get funding to continue no kill. Next comment was submitted by Amanda Farrar. I'm very concerned about how the city will choose to handle our animal shelter moving forward. The fact that we've been no kill is something that Boulder City and our animal lovers can be very proud of, and the shelter's current longtime director has done outstanding work. Anne is a professional and her expertise has been consistent and reliable. We are dealing with an epidemic, an increasing number of pets that are being dumped in Boulder City. Boulder City City Council must give full support to our animal shelter so it can continue its exceptional service to our community and to the animals that we love. Please approve the following: a temporary moratorium on breeders' permits or direction from Anna Nabnett on what number and type of permits are feasible, given to the Boulder City Animal Shelter's lack of capacity at this time. The Boulder City Animal Shelter to be 100% funded by the City of Boulder City going forward. Microchipping to be required of all pets as proposed in the City Council meeting on March 26th. A contingency plan to expand the Boulder City Animal Shelter's capacity and staffing to be directed by our current shelter director in the event animal control and the police department continue to find dogs abandoned in Boulder City. Thank you for your consideration. Next comment was submitted by Lois Donat. I believe the Boulder City Council and Mayor need to find funding to provide more portable buildings, personnel, food, bedding, and cleaning supplies, veterinary care, and medicines for all of the abandoned animals being dropped off in Boulder City, Nevada. In January and February 2024, there have been over 8,000 evictions in Clark County of families, etc. I believe some of these people are abandoning their pets in Boulder City, Nevada, because we are a no-kill animal shelter. This also may be why there are more homeless people coming to our town. With the high rents in Clark County, people just can't afford to pay their rent anymore. With no rent control for anyone, the investors, a lot of which are not even living in the state of Nevada, just keep increasing the price of housing every month. This is going to be an ongoing problem until some kind of rent control is passed by our state legislature. The state of Nevada has limited land and limited water and other resources to support all of the people moving here. The next comment was submitted by Mark Reichman. This is regarding agenda item number 10. I really don't have enough information on the nature of the OHV proposal, but I would like to make a few comments. One, it is my understanding that Councilmember Fox is leading this proposal. Unfortunately, Mr. Fox has no credibility on the OHV issue since OHVs are known to operate illegally from his residence on Georgia Street. 2, the people already said no in 2019 to a ballot advisory question that sought to legalize OHV access in Boulder City. The majority of Boulder City residents don't want OHVs on our residential streets or to have OHVs accessing the desert from our city streets. 3, the minority group of OHV operators wants the convenience of operating their OHVs from their driveways to the desert rather than trailer their recreational vehicles to the recreation area. They already have the ability to trailer their vehicles to be designated recreation areas. These are recreational vehicles. They are not street legal and they don't belong on any city street. 4, because of the presence of naturally occurring asbestos in the soils around Boulder City, any changes to the current city code pertaining to OHV should require an environmental impact statement to access the impacts on our air quality. 5, knowing what the public record says about naturally occurring asbestos in Boulder City, it is insane for anyone to operate OHVs in the areas known to contain asbestos in the soil. 6, the city should be pursuing a moratorium on OHV recreation in areas of El Dorado Valley that are known to contain asbestos in the soil. 7, any future initiatives regarding OHV use within or around Boulder City should require the city to conduct testing on the exposure levels to airborne asbestos while operating an OHV in areas known to contain asbestos in the soil. 8, the city and OHV supporters had the opportunity to support asbestos research and testing at the time of the 2019 ballot initiative, but they chose not to provide support. 9, nobody in Boulder City wants to talk about naturally occurring asbestos, but it is a problem that cannot be ignored, in particular with regards to OHV recreation. 10, Boulder City has had an OHV problem for years because the Boulder City Police Department do not provide effective enforcement to control chronic illegal OHV activity that happens on our city streets and in the desert areas adjacent to our homes every weekend. The next public comment was submitted by Chris Hugialani. I'm going to read it as it's written. I believe the intent is to restrict backyard breeders by properly regulating them. The county ordinance, one area you are missing, though, is a requirement that they must language be included. Here, the county's link, https://clarkcountynevada.gov, Administrative Services, Animal Control Forms. Perhaps include a review period if it is adopted. Thank you.
Anyone still here that would like to come up and share public comment here in the chambers? And anyone else on the phone or written?
No additional written comments for this public period portion.
Thank you. We will close public comment and move to approval of the regular agenda. Madam City Clerk.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Staff is requesting that item number 8 be removed from this agenda and be brought back for reintroduction at the next meeting.
Okay. And any other suggestions?
Yes, I'd like to request item number 10 be removed from this agenda and brought back when all council members are present.
Thank you. So we have 2 items, 8 and 10, being removed from the regular agenda. Any objections to that? Any objections on the phone? We will...
No.
Thank you. We'll move then to possible action for approval of the consent agenda. Do I have...
They have to approve the regular agenda as
Those in
amended.
favor of approving the regular agenda with items 8 and 10 removed, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
I apologize, but there is no motion or second.
So I will move to remove 8 and 10 from the regular agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And is there a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And is there any opposed? And I heard at least 4 ayes. And that will be a majority. And we'll move to approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
And is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Well, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And any opposed? Hearing no opposed, the consent agenda has been approved. We'll move to the regular agenda presentation, item number 3. We will have a presentation and
Mr. Mayor, I did want to go ahead and address some questions that we've received
Okay.
from council members before Mr. Keene starts the presentation. So related to this item, this is the golf course rehabilitation project for the irrigation system and potential turf removal. And we appreciate all of the work that Leish has done on this process. But we had 4 questions that I wanted to address from council members. So the first question was, is there a golf course in the valley that has done turf reduction similar to what we were proposing? And can they either go look at or view on Google Images? Yes, there are several. Among them are Anthem Country Club, Reflection Bay Golf Course, Canyon Gate Country Club, Sienna Golf Course, Legacy Golf Course, Rhodes Ranch Golf Course. Some of these conversions may still be under construction, so Google Maps may not show the current conditions of those courses just yet. Are there any golf courses paying the fine instead of doing turf reductions to meet their water budget? We've found through surveying these courses, most of them are cooperating with the reduction and AB 356. Third question, any golf courses that we can contact to ask if they saw a reduction in play as a result of turf reductions? Our consultant who's here, Lage Design, is calling around to some of those courses listed above to see if they did see any reduction in play after their turf reduction projects. And hopefully we'll have information to share on that in the presentation or in the future for you. And then the final question, what have other golf courses installed in turf reduction areas? And the majority has been decomposed granite and xeriscape techniques. So there are some plantings involved and xeriscape factors with that. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to our city engineer and let you go on.
Mr. Keene.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Jim Keene, your city engineer. We have Jeffrey Scheffler here with Lage Design, who has been doing the majority of the work for us for this project. So Jeff's going to give us a presentation, and then we'll be available for question and answer after that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Taylor, I can answer question 4 about the reduction in play. We heard back from, before I actually start the presentation, we heard back from 2 golf courses that have done this today in the past, those being Legacy Golf Club and Revere, both in Henderson. They reported not seeing any change in the amount of play that they see on their golf courses. So with that, as Jim said, Jeffrey Schaffler with Lage Design, we've been working with the city and really excited about this project to do a possible turf reduction and definitely update and replace the existing irrigation system within the municipal golf course. So just as an overview of what's involved in the project, yes, turf reduction, that is the quickest and best way to reduce water consumption. It also conforms some of these areas. There are many areas that are not functional according to AB 356. I mentioned replacing the irrigation system, which is the original irrigation system, is not state-of-the-art, doesn't allow for the most efficiency in putting water onto the course to keep it playable. Also, we're looking at the possible removal of any invasive tree species. Most of these are cottonwoods. Some of those root systems pose a danger not only to some of the players and by their root system upheaving cart paths and other areas, but in some instances they're also encroaching into residences. And then we're going to be working with the SNWA to see what we can apply for with their rebate program and their incentive program, which now allows also for a rebate for additional tree plantings. So with that, this is the existing golf course and the existing conditions that we find today. We have 133 acres of irrigated turf presently. So subsequent to the preparation of this presentation, we have some updated numbers as to 2023 water consumption at the golf course, which I'll use instead. So the water budget up until 2024 for golf courses was 6.3 acre feet per irrigated acre. An acre foot is just what it sounds like. It's the amount of water that would cover 1 foot of water depth that would cover 1 acre if you look at that. Which is about 325,000 gallons of water. In 2023, the water consumption at the golf course to maintain it was actually 269 million gallons, which is 826 acre feet. You can see, and as I'll show in the next slide, but there's many areas, I'm not able to point with this device, but there's many areas that are completely out of play, not part of the golf course at all. Most notably, the area to the left of 7 Green and the right of 8T, which is almost the size of a nice park, but totally out of play, not part of the golf course itself from a playability standpoint. The areas between 17 Green and 18T is another large expanse of turf, again, completely out of play. And then also behind 13T T and along number 12, and I'll show those areas as we go through and show what we're proposing. It's important to remember we are completely in the conceptual design phase as to this project. The other thing to note as we move forward, this is our proposed reduction. You see that in the green is left is irrigated turf. Although this may look like a lot, and it is, which is good from a consumption and conservation standpoint. Of the 133 acres on this plan, we currently have 46.5 acres of irrigated turf being removed, leaving us 86.5 acres of turf to be maintained. So I mentioned earlier the 6.3 acre feet was the budget for per irrigated acre by the SNWA. That has now changed to 4 acre feet per acre. That budget is based on your current irrigated acres, so on the 133. The estimated water consumption as we look based on 86.5 acres of irrigated turf would be 162 million gallons or 497 acre feet. With the updated numbers from what we had previously, that would not be a 26% reduction, but a savings of 39% of water consumption. So as you look at this, you can notice, and I'll show you this, there's been some talk about how it's going to change the golf course. Our goal all along was to reduce the water consumption, but not reduce the playability at all. From the sky, like we look at here at the 50,000 foot view, it looks like quite a bit, but when you get on the golf course, and I'll show some simulations in a moment, it really won't affect play as much as some might think. These areas, you can see the large area to the left of number 7, between 7 and 8, 7 green and 8T that I had mentioned, down to the bottom of the drawing where we've removed all the turf. We are going to be replacing with trees. We have to replace up to 50% of what we take out as far as canopy coverage for the acreage we take out. However, because it is a golf course, the SNWA works with you because we obviously can't replace and put trees in the middle of a fairway. So they work with us on that. So we've really tried to be cognizant of that. The other issue that comes up is that, and I heard about it in the comments as well, the public comment, is that of safety. A good example of that is we are removing, if you look all the way to the right, the number 5T, which is just below 4 green there. We're taking out a lot of turf around tees and then in those other areas that are out of play. When we do that, we're trying to add some trees as well. We'll add some trees for protection so people aren't completely exposed. Our goal is to remove as few trees as we can. All of these trees have been irrigated only with turf irrigation and not with drip irrigation, and they're quite mature. So we're going to have to be very careful with those as we remove turf around them and try for the trees that we try to maintain. So the majority of that, again, of reduction is really around tees, pulling it away from all the homes as well. Grass, a lot of the water and overspray has damaged some walls, gone into some yards, and then from tees and areas that are out of play again. So in order to show this, we got our drone out there and actually took some images and tried to show what it actually is going to be like. This is hole number 3 from the tee. You see what it currently looks like there on the left. Afterwards, again, we're taking out areas. You can see that between the cart path and the tee. Really not going to impact play in very much. This area we're not taking out as much. Number 5, yes, significant, but we're standing on the tee. We're really not impacting play. It's not a long carry over to the fairway, and it's really going to reduce the consumption of water in this area as well. The other thing is the replacement of all of this is primarily going to be People like to use the word chat, but it is going to be a very small diameter decomposed granite. The plantings are going to be primarily trees at the request of the golf course. It's easier and better to maintain and will not come into to become an eyesore in any way, much like was stated in the public comment. The area the gentleman said he lived, and I knew exactly what he was talking about, behind the 15th green. There's an area there that was done many years ago with a lot of shrubs and not a lot of thought into it, and has become a little wild. Again, another example of that, primarily around tees. The tee at number 6, all that turf that's coming out between the tee and the fairway primarily, and then along the homes on the left. We've added trees in this instance there to the right of the cart path there and the right of the tee, again, just from a safety standpoint. Number 8, another good example, a short par 4 where we really had a lot of turf that was completely out of play and not necessary. Again, mostly around the tee, doesn't change the golf hole strategically, doesn't change its playability. That's the other thing about the material that we'll be putting in, and that is that you can play from that surface as well. It doesn't have to be on the grass. The goal is to have it be very similar to the playability of Boulder Creek, to create it as natural a surface as possible. At Boulder Creek, if you go left or right, you deviate from the golf hole, you can play from the desert. This is an aerial view of that, the area there, 12, pretty much above 12 fairway and looking towards that, and 13, that whole area to the right, which is, again, completely out of play and non-functional, that we would want to remove, and then we would continue the turf removal that's happened already naturally along the left of 12, and then going further, it goes along and behind 15 and to the left of 15. But as you can see, again, it really is not going to affect the playability of the golf course or the strategic play of the golf course. And then even number 16, where there's going to be some significant removal of turf. This is from the fairway looking towards the green on this par 5, removing turf on the right. You can see that sliver along the homes there and the fences, and then some to the left there, left of the green. This area, and we're not, do we show it on the next one? Yes. So 17 is a little more significant. This is a par 3. Again, a lot of that turf is around the tee, but what's happening here as well is that we're going to be expanding the existing pond to serve as a storage pond for the new irrigation system. That's why this one looks this way. There's a lot of room. To the right of here, there's a large area that I can tell you is completely out of play, has no functional use whatsoever between the 11th fairway and the 17th tee. So the next steps for us are to go to a public meeting and receive some public comment on the conceptual design as it is right now. We're looking after that to go into final design to produce construction documents, be able to advertise for bid by the 4th quarter of this year, and get it under construction by the 1st quarter of next year.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on the phone from our other city council people?
Mr. Mayor, can you hear me?
Mr. Walton first.
Thank you. Excuse me, I was told my audio was not coming through. I wanted to make sure that my votes were counted for the affirmative and the higher rules. And I appreciate the presentation, and I'm looking forward to the conservation of water to come more in alignment with the statutes that have been referenced in our doing our part with the SNWA partnership. That was all I had. Thank you.
And your votes that weren't counted, were they in the affirmative?
Yes, sir, they were in the affirmative.
Thank you. And then who else is on the phone that would like to ask or say something?
Hi, Mayor. This is Councilwoman Jorgensen. Just was looking at the next step, and it talks about public meeting. Will that be a town hall style meeting?
I think that's what it's anticipated to be. Is that right?
Yeah, what my thought is we would advertise a meeting and we would have the overall plan posted up at the golf course in the clubhouse for a little while before so golfers could look at it, anybody, and then we'll probably have the meeting at the clubhouse.
Okay, so it's something that the whole community, whoever wants to, could come and talk about their opinions or their thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councilman Fox, any questions?
It looked really good. I like the idea of expanding the pond on 17. But that's all.
So I had the question, when you take out grass or trees, you take out cooling. So the cooling effect of a golf course is noticeable when you go from off of it to on it or close to it. So what's this going to do to the temperature?
Great question. The other aspect of it was we're going to be adding trees, which help with that as well. So help to mitigate the reduction in turf. But is it going to be the same? At this point, we don't know. We're also adding the pond, which should help with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trees will not be mature trees. They'll have to grow over the next several years, I take it.
They're going to, and some of them we may go in prior to removing any others that we may have to. So so it's staggered, right? We can have those stay in. When those get a little more mature, then we can remove some of the others if we have to.
So you're not removing trees, but if you do, you're replanting them someplace else? Is that what I heard?
No, we would add before we remove would be part of the plan. We're only going to remove trees if it's absolutely necessary.
Okay, and the trees that are surface irrigated probably have more problems with their roots, and are you designing a drip system that gets deeper so their roots aren't exposed?
Yes, so with the irrigation design for the golf course, that will include not just the turf irrigation, but a drip system for all the existing trees that are going to be in areas in which turf is going to be removed and they're no longer going to be irrigated by the golf course irrigation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The value of the new irrigation system also can't really be overstated compared to what's there now. The control that the superintendents will have will be greatly increased.
All right, thank you. Any other questions on the phone?
Councilmember Booth has some comments.
Okay, Councilwoman Booth. Out loud.
I'm going to have to just cover maybe.
I think that'll be good for the community to hear the public comment and have, be able to partake in that. So I'm looking forward to the public comments that'll be going on.
Thank you. Thank you all for participating. Any other comments or questions? If not, we will accept the presentation, and we appreciate you coming. Anything else I need to do on that line, Madam City Clerk? So thank you for coming. We appreciate the presentation. And having said that, we will move to the bills. And we will have introductions on the airport ground leases that expired September 20th, 2024. And those are bill number 2015 through 2026. And I would accept a motion to introduce all of those and waive the reading except for title, bill number 2015 through 2026. Do I have such a motion?
I'll move
Introduce.
introduction for bills number 2015 to 2026 and waive the reading except for title.
Thank you.
These were also pre-recorded. They'll start in just a moment.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved.
Oh,
and-
no, sorry, it doesn't need a second, never mind.
So we have moved the introduction and waived the reading except for title, and we will have the reading of title by pre-recorded to facilitate that process. And so, Madam City Clerk, you can instruct our very able people to do so.
Bill number 2015, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306H, TW4-08, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Robert W. Draney Trust to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2016, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306C, TW4-10, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Mike McKee to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2017, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306B, TW4-14, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Mark Leesburg to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2018, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306F, TW4-16, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Earl F. Leesburg, 1998, Irrevocable Trust, FBO, Mark E. Leesburg, to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2019, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306B, TW4-18, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Patrick John O'Connell to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2020, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306F, TW4-20, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Quail Run Properties 2, Incorporated, to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2021, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306E, TW4-22, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Savage Family Trust to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2022, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306F, TW4-24, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Richard Carr to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2023, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306I, TW4-26, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Alconist Consulting, LLC, to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2024, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306G, TW4-28, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Craig Family Trust to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2025, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306E, TW4-30, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Arvest Management, LLC, to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option. Bill number 2026, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 94-306C, TW4-12, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Ray Russell and Charles Pendleton to extend the term of the agreement for a period of 11 months. Bill numbers 2015 through 2026 will be considered at the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting.
Thank you, and I would accept a motion to introduce bill number 2027 and waive the reading except for title.
I'd like to introduce Bill 2027 and waive the reading except for title.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bill number 2027, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving lease agreement number 93-247E, TW4-21, amending lease agreement between the City of Boulder City and Lisa Lou Yetter and John Altentop Living Trust to amend and restate the agreement and extend the term of the agreement for a period of 10 years with one 10-year renewal option from the original expiration date following the initial 6-month extension. This item will also be considered at the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting.
Thank you. And I would accept a motion to introduce bill number 2028, waive the reading except for title.
I'll introduce Bill 2028 and waive the reading except for title.
Thank you. Bill number 2028, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, amending the Boulder City Municipal Code to amend Title I Administration, Chapter 9 Financial Administration, Section 1-9-4, titled Required Accounts Funds, to create a swimming pool recreational facility construction, operation, and maintenance fund. This item will be considered at the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting.
Thank you. And I'd accept a motion to introduce bill number 2029.
I'll introduce Bill
Waive the reading except for title.
2029, waive the reading except for title.
Thank you. Bill number 2029, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, to amend Title 11 of the City Code, Chapter 39, Subdivision Regulations, to make modifications to the subdivision regulations that provide consistency with state law, extend construction timelines, and clarify text. AM-23-372. This matter will be considered at the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting.
Thank you. And then we move to item 8, which has been removed from the agenda. And then that brings us to regular business, public hearing on the proposed addition of approximately 62 acres located in El Dorado Valley to the land management process for renewable energy and utility uses. I would accept then open the public hearing. Mr. Mays.
Good evening, Mayor Hardy, members of the City Council, Michael Mays, your Community Development Director. This came before you in February. You advanced it on to the Planning Commission for consideration of addition to the land management process list. You can see on the screen the location of the 62 acres in the El Dorado Valley intended for energy and utility uses, and the Planning Commission recommended its addition. And with that, I can answer any questions, and Mayor, as you noted, it does require a public hearing.
So we'll open that public hearing and invite anybody who's on the phone or here in chambers. And is there any written comments about it?
No written comments were submitted.
Seeing no one in public chambers, if you call in at 702-589-9629, and keep the public hearing open for those who would like to call in. We will wait a few moments before we close the public hearing then. Hearing no one on the public hearing phone, we will close the public hearing and move forward with consideration of resolution number 7783 for approximately 62 acres located in El Dorado Valley to the land management process for renewable energy and utility uses. Any questions, concerns, or comments from council? Hearing none, I would accept a motion to approve resolution number 7783.
I'll move to approve resolution number 7783.
Second.
Councilman Jorgensen has moved and Councilman Fox has seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing ayes, I think that is unanimous and without any nays. Number 10 has been removed from our agenda, and number 11 will be possible action regarding appointing ballot question committee members to prepare for the arguments, and we have some volunteers.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. You have before you a volunteer who has agreed to write the arguments in favor of the ballot question, and that's Susan Provian. And then you have two members who have submitted applications to write the arguments against the ballot question, and that's Kiernan McManus and Danny Whittley.
And can I take a motion that will approve those respective to their desires?
Yes.
I would accept a motion to approve those who have volunteered their time and efforts to write the matters for the ballot question.
I'll make a motion to approve the volunteers.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
And that, I think, was Councilman Koki Booth. And any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Mr. Mayor,
Aye.
I had a question.
There will be a question. Go ahead, Councilman.
So we have one who had volunteered to write the argument for, and we had two to write the argument against. Do we need to just have one for each, or do they all participate as volunteer?
They would all, according to the law, that you can have up to 3 members on each committee.
I see. Thank you. Then I will wait for the vote.
So all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so we will, that was unanimous. That brings us to public comment, and we will open it up for public comment. Anything written?
Yes, I have one general public comment.
Thank you.
This public comment was submitted by Lisa Caravella. I would like to bring awareness to the presentation of the main street when you come into Boulder City. There should be a mandatory guide, law, rule of some sort for these local businesses to maintain the exterior of their businesses, the landscaping, the maintenance of them all. Take a drive and look at all of the businesses with the unkept landscaping. It does not look good. In fact, it looks very uninviting. I won't even patron some of these places because the exterior is unkept. Old signs, for example, at Dairy Queen, they have not changed their marquee in the year that I've been here. Their signs are faded, old, etc. Please make these businesses clean up just like we have to make our homes look good. And that's all I have for written public comments.
Thank you. Anyone here in chambers like to come forward? And anyone on the phone like to chime in? And no other written ones? Phone 702-589-9629. And we will wait a moment. None. Thank you. We will now move to city council report. I'll take those on the phone first. I'll do it this way. Councilman Walton?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any report today. Thank you.
Councilman Jorgensen?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, let me say, sorry that I wasn't there. I have been ill. I'm sure that that's all of us. It's very rare that I think a council is 3 down. So thank you, Council Member Fox and Mayor Hardy, for holding down the fort. I was able to go to my board meeting at the museum, and all is well there to report, and able to try and go before my doctor's appointment to our spring that we had down at Bicentennial Park, which was really fun, and just invite people to attend those kind of things. It's nice. It was in support of Little Lambs for the preschool. So those kind of things help our community to continue to offer services. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Booth?
Yes, I just wanted to remind everybody that Spring Jamboree is coming up the first Saturday in May. And at 11 o'clock, we do Bark in the Park, and we have some special surprises for everybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out for Spring Jamboree. The weather should be fantastic and be a fun time for us to all kind of get out of the house and kind of recoup. So anyways, looking forward to seeing you all at Spring Jam. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Booth. And Councilman Fox?
Nothing to report.
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't say how much I appreciate the dedication of our council people who are willing to, if they are ill in any way, be able to call in and listen and participate online, as well as everything that they do in person. I appreciate so much how our council people have worked so tirelessly doing so many things, and appreciate them coming online, and Councilman Fox being able to be here in person. I have to say in my report that I had the opportunity to drive into the LVGEA meeting today with our staff, our city attorney, our city development director, Michael Mays, our city attorney, Ms. Walker, and our city manager. And our city manager, as you know, has taken another job with the city of Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. And you probably are wondering how this is going to happen, but we will have to discuss as a city council how that transition will happen for us. Rehoboth is getting a wonderful city manager, and we will miss you, Taylor, if I could use your first name. We have been blessed with your efforts and your abilities and your dedication. And so when we went together today, we had a good conversation. And no, he did not reconsider. He is leaving. And we do appreciate your moving onward and upward. And we will accept you to come back anytime you'd like and visit. And we appreciate your service. But we have so many people who have done so much in the community, in the greater Las Vegas area community, in Boulder City, that we have had an opportunity to show ourselves well. And I appreciate the council members in toto as they go forth in the greater Las Vegas area. So it is with pleasure that we support each other, but with some sadness losing our city manager. With that, I will close the meeting. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.